Good evening. Welcome to Preranapatha, the KSOGA Podcast, the podcast of the Karnataka Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists Association. And today we are stepping away from clinical guidelines to discuss a topic often ignored in medical school: financial health. And to guide us, we have two extraordinary surgeons who have mastered the balance between a demanding practice and a smart wealth management. To welcome them, we have our president, Dr. Durgadas Asranna, joining in from Tumkur. Sir, over to you.
Namaste, the family of KSOGA. Today, we have come out with yet another interesting topic, which is other than our gynecology. We, the doctors, are very poor in managing our finances. We are good in our patient management or surgical skills. But for happy life, now and for future, we need to know about our financial management, our health care, etc. Today we are going to know about the financial health. Having this as in our mind, we invited two stalwarts. Both are excellent lab surgeons with utmost skills and achievements, Dr. Nitin Shah and Dr. Santosh Jaibai. Friends, though they are excellent in their laparoscopic surgery, I know they are too good in their financial management also. So, for our family of KSOGA, I want to hear from you and the guidance how to plan our future. With these few words, I welcome both of you and our own Dr. Prabha Desai to this event. Thank you.
As just now, Dr. Asnana sir has welcomed you all, and I am getting this great opportunity to introduce two of my friends and colleagues who have done extraordinarily in their financial career as well as in their academic career also. We are honored to welcome Dr. Nitin Shah, a world record holding laparoscopic surgeon and a president of AFG, and Dr. Santosh Jaibai, a leading endoscopic surgeon, medical legal expert, and president elect of NMOGS. Both are senior guides at WealthCon and are here to share practical financial blueprints for busy obstetricians and gynecologists across all sectors, from government service to private enterprises.
Thank you so much, Dr. Durgadas and Dr. Prabha Desai, for this warm welcome. And I am sure it is going to be a great event.
Yes, I also thank all the organizing team for giving us this opportunity to share our thoughts on this topic with your team and your members.
Thank you. So let's dive in. I think the first segment is something that we would want to know more about your career and your income diversification. So, both of you have built successful careers across different settings. How did you approach income diversification early in your career, like private practice, academics, consultancy, and other ventures? Dr. Nitin, maybe you can take this question first.
See, so basically, in the beginning, we divide our income into a active income and a passive income, and a third is a knowledge income. So, active income is from your profession. Like I'm a gynec laparoscopic surgeon, so I my more amount from the by doing laparoscopy, by treating patient. Okay, so that is my active income. What I have learned, what I have come out education system. So I'm a doctor, so I'll treat patient and I'll earn. That is my primary income. That is active source of income. So everybody should focus on their active source of income because that is going to be a major chunk of your income. You cannot bypass this active income at all. Then comes the second passive income. Passive income is investing the surplus amount from your active income into the parallel ventures like a mutual fund or a share market or something else which will give you a return for which you are not daily waking up and doing some activities to get the income out of that passive investment. So that is become absolutely passive. Even when you are sleeping night, your money is working hard to make you richer. Okay, so that's the concept of passive income. So that forms the maybe 30-40% of the income. But as you grow in the life, maybe sometime our dream is that our passive income should surplus our active income. And at that time, you may think of, winding up or coming out of the practice. As a doctor, we never retire. We work till the last day of our life. So that is the thing. But one can phase out the emergency part. One can stop doing night call. One can ask for their charges. One cannot compromise on the other thing. Generally what happens, the doctor always, there is a cutthroat competition in between the doctors of the same faculty in the same area. So this financial freedom will give you the upper hand by either accepting your charges or selecting your patient. You will not under the stress, no, I have to operate or I have to see so many patients, I have to work hard, because of your passive income. And third income is a knowledge income. What I classify into the third income is a knowledge income. Since I'm a doctor, I am running an endoscopy courses. So I'm getting a fellowship. I have a fellowship courses which are recognized by the institute. So that is my third income. Okay, that is the knowledge income, what I say routinely. This knowledge income is by providing some fellowship courses to the doctor. So I have there are two fellows coming every month for the learning laparoscopy, and this adds to the active and a passive income. So this is a knowledge income. So this is how I classify my three incomes broadly into the three category. So still I am working very hard for my active income so that I can invest and I grow my passive income. And parallelly, knowledge income is always.
Right, right. Dr. Santosh Jaipai, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, Nitin has extensively covered almost each and every aspect of the thing that needs to be discussed at this moment. I'll just add a few points like when, as in our practice, in early part of our practice, we are trying to build our practice. After certain age, we try to expand our practice, and at the end, there is a plateau phase where you want to maintain your practice. Similar is the thing even in the finances, where you are in the early phase, you are creating wealth by working actively and doing more and more surgeries, seeing more and more patients. At one time, you shift your focus from creating wealth into expanding your wealth. That's where the passive income comes into picture. Whatever earning you are making, if you are disciplined enough and you start saving or investing some part of it into the your future income in the various forms of investments, then it adds one. It it puts your wealth from wealth creation phase into wealth expansion phase, and that adds one more aspect into it adds passive income along with your active income. And at one stage, when at later years of life, your goal is neither wealth creation nor wealth expansion but wealth protection. That is the phase where whatever wealth you have created over the years, you try to protect it by different means. And not only wealth protection, but wealth enjoyment is also important, because you are earning, but if you are not utilizing that money, then it's of no use. So there has to be a balance between work as well as earning money, as well as saving money for the future, and utilizing and enjoying the money that you are earning.
Absolutely. I think otherwise, wealth is not wealth unless you enjoy it, I suppose.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, um, now, Dr. Shah, as president of the AFG and involved in WealthCon, what are the key financial mistakes you see gynecologists or in general doctors make when starting their practice?
Once we become a doctor, the expectation from the family and society is very high. So we typically get into that luxury trap. What is called as you should have a Mercedes car or BMW car, some luxury car. You should have a big flat. You should have a posh society. Your hospital should be high class. So we all doctors, some or the other day, get into this luxury trap item, and we start investing into the wrong things first. Like when I started my practice, I first bought was a big house. I never invested in my practice. So that was my biggest mistake, which I realized. I'm paying loan for a long time for my residential project before my commercial project. So I started reverse way. When I started my practice, I took home first and I was paying loan for almost 5 years. And after 8 years, I developed my hospital. So I will suggest we should not get trapped into this luxury item first. First, create your this business module first from where you can generate more income, so that your escalation in the life is faster on the financial scale. So if I would have started my hospital first, then residence would have become automatically, normally it would have happened. So I have seen many doctors who still stay on the rent house. They don't buy house, but they will invest in the five-star hospital, from where they will generate more income. So this is something one mistake everybody should avoid. Second thing is we are not adequately insured, you know. So we don't take, ideally we are supposed to take 2 to 3 insurance, which is term plan. We should not go for the flexi plan or, investment return plan. We should go for the term plan. Everybody should have health insurance, which is a must, because unexpectedly anything can come in life and you should be prepared for that. The third thing, everybody should have car insurance, okay, and medical insurance. So these insurance are must. One should invest in that. One should not go after the flexi plan or, investment plan who give you some return, because their returns are never great. So that is very, very important. And third thing is mixing wallet. What I say, when you get some money from your revenue from your hospital, how you utilize them is very, very important. Ideally, you should divide your income into the 4 parts, what we call is a diversification. So you should diversify your income into the proper channel, that so and so percentage will go for the hospital upgradation, so and so percentage will go into investment, so and so percentage will go into the luxury items, so and so percentage will go for the outing or, for a family time. So you have to divide your income properly.
Yeah, I suppose, no, that's absolutely right. There are a lot of mistakes, especially taking EMIs and not focusing on what actually is your, golden egg giving hen, essentially. Dr. Jayabhai, you are the director of a hospital and medical legal consultant as well. So, how should a gynecologist decide between employment, partnership, or even starting their own facility? What do you
This is
think is the best
yeah.
model?
Actually, there is nothing best that suits everyone. It completely depends on how your finances are, how what is your risk taking capacity, and what your mental makeup is. As we say that you should know yourself. Like if uh, you are someone who has a huge financial backup, then you can straight away go and start your own nursing home and start your as Nitin said, a five-star hospital. But if you are someone who don't have a financial backup from family, you may have to join some government or a corporate setup to begin with. And as and when your confidence grows, your finances grows, even if banks are ready to give you loan, you have to be confident that you will be able to repay the EMIs based on your practice and still make some money to make your livelihood. So all this entire calculation needs to be done before making any decision, whether you want to do your own hospital practice, your own consulting practice, or want to venture into a partnership project, or want to join only some corporate hospitals or government hospitals. So there is no fixed formula or no one size fit all type of thing. You just have to guess. First, you have to guess your own risk appetite, your financial backings, and your confidence about generating revenue out of your practice. And then what suits you best, you should start with it. But at the same time, you should not over venture into the things and get yourself stressed out, because if you get stressed out from financial angle, that gets reflected into your day-to-day clinical decision makings also. So you have to slowly get out of your comfort zone and expand yourself.
Right. Yeah, well said, well said. So, Dr. Shah, for those in government or medical college positions, how can they build additional income streams without, compromising on their primary role? क्या कर सकते हैं?
I know many of the person who are working in the government hospital and they are on a fixed salary, you know. So what they can do is basically they can write a textbook or do a digital courses. Okay. So there are many people who take a private tuition. Like if we have a teacher, they will teach in the school for a particular period during the daytime, but afternoon or evening they can have an additional tuition classes. So same way, many of the consultants are attached with the ongoing classes like DAM classes or PG education courses, and they can develop their parallel income. Second thing is, once they get a salary, the majority of the portion again goes into the national pension scheme and PPF. So they are already investing into the equity market. So they should have some more portion into the equity market, and they should diversify into the gold, then again equity and debt product. If you have senior age more than 60, one should focus more on a debt product, where they can have a they can secure their capital. But if their age is less, they can take little more risk and invest more in equity and less in debt. So this is how they can diversify their income to increase their return. Okay. So that is very, very important.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. See, Dr. Santosh Jaibai, I want to ask you, what are the investment vehicles do you recommend for the doctors who have a very unstable earnings, like a private practitioners? Sometimes they are busy, then they will have a that month a good earning. Sometimes there will be like a slack season, that month they will not have a much surgeries or kind of thing. So, what are your advices to them, especially those who are in private sector?
As far as the investment vehicle goes, na, we can't have one size fitting all. So whenever we decide which kind of investment we want to make, there's an acronym which is developed at Welcon by it goes as target, TARGET. First is a time. T is time. Like whatever you are investing now, what is your time horizon where you want to redeem your investment? It could be like I'm investing it for 2 years or for 5 years or for 7 years. Because according to that, your investment vehicle is going to change. Second is age. Age of the individual. Age of the individual who is investing is planning. Because if I'm planning to invest at the age of 20, my investment vehicles will be different. But if I'm planning to invest at the age of 30, 35, 40, it is going to be very. Third is R. R is a risk appetite. How much risk averse or risk taking behavior I am having. That is when I'm going to decide which kind of investments I am going to use. Yeah, next is G. G is a goal. Which is the goal for which I am investing? It could be a retirement fund. It could be my child's education, child's marriage, or it could be some foreign vacation, or some buying some property, or what goal you are tagging to your investment. Is the expertise and knowledge. Expertise and knowledge. What kind of knowledge I'm having uh, to take my investment decisions. And last thing is the time available to track your investments. So, depending on all these factors, we decide what is to be done. Now, if someone who is having a low risk appetite, limited knowledge, and limited time available, he is an ultra passive investor. He don't have time to track the market. He don't have adequate knowledge, and he has a very low risk appetite. For such person, mutual funds is better choice, right? Now, if someone who has a moderate risk appetite, good knowledge of market, but less time available for investing, he is a passive investor. He can invest in limited stocks and some good quality mutual funds. Now, a third category is a person who has a high risk appetite, sound knowledge of equities and share market, and has an adequate time to track the market. He perfectly suits to be fitted in the category of an active investor or a trader. I hope you got a clear message here. Because we cannot have one thing that suits everyone. So we have to know ourselves, we have to know our background, we have to know our mental framework, we have to know the time which is available for us to track the market. At the same time, like if I'm planning to buy something as an investment today, which is to be utilized after 10 years for my retirement, I will definitely go and look for uh, some good quality mutual funds or some blue chip stocks, and I will keep on tracking my investment. But if I'm planning to invest something which I'm going to use in next 2 years, I will think of investing into some debt products. So there will not be price depreciation or there will not be wealth destruction. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Santosh, for highlighting on those issues. And this is for Dr. Nitin Shah. See, usually in small places, people like not in metros but in the other cities, usually they will prefer to invest in real estate. Okay. once they are done with their needs, they will start investing in real estate. What is your view about that? And what are your personal strategies being in Mumbai or
See, now
metropolitan city
it is
people?
always said that doctors are land rich and cash poor. Okay. So that always one should remember, doctors are all land rich and cash poor. That is the dictum, because they invest in land and land. But what we can see is, everybody know gastroesophageal reflux disease, which is called as a GERD. So this mnemonic is very, very important. As said by the all financial advisor, that never put your all egg in one basket. Okay, you divide the basket. So this GERD is very, very important. The G stand for gold, E stand for equity, R stand for real estate, and D stand for debt product. So if you can divide your income into these four category of investment, it's very, very important. So for this example, let's classify doctors age wise. If the doctor's age is less than 30, is a very young, dynamic, dashing doctor working very hard, working like a resident even in the private practice, he has a more income. Okay. And is a high risk, he can take risk appetite is a little bit on the higher side. So you can divide this GERD into the ratio of 10, 40, 40, 10. Okay. That means gold, 10% investment, equity, which is the high risk, high return. We can invest 40% of the income into that, then 40% in the real estate and 10% in debt product. Suppose if your age advances, if you are becoming more than 60, so this is for the 30 to 60 years of age of the doctor, where you divide your GERD ratio into 10, 40, 40, 10. But suppose the doctor who is more than 60, he should have a stability of the capital protection. Okay, so what the ratio become is 10. 10 for gold, 40 for equity, 10 for real estate, and debt product should be more. That becomes 40%. Because your capital protection is more important than the return. So this is how one should classify your income and all your so what I generally follow is, like, I decide my next 6-month target. Now next 6 months I am going to invest in gold. That's over. Then next 6 months I will invest, I'll reserve the capital and invest in some equity. Then next 6 months to 1 year I'll invest in some, when market goes very high, I remove my capital and invest in some land. And again wait for the market to fall, and in meanwhile you accumulate some more income, and put it in debt product. And once the market is bottom out, remove that from debt product, invest in equity. So this is called as an active investment, okay, where you know how you can use your fund in a better, efficient way to get more returns. So that is very, very important. This is will be individual for individual person. It may not work. One size does not fit all in finance. Okay, so one has to play with their limitation, play with their income. Should know how. So we always talk in terms of percentages in finances. That I invest 20% of my income in insurance. I invest 40% of my income. I reserve for investment in equity. Then remaining 20% I'll keep for the gold, and then for the other expenses. One more thing I would like to highlight is, you should have your 6 month of income into the liquid funds, which is you earmark as an emergency fund. Suppose we are like a daily wages worker, सुबह उठेंगे कमाएंगे तो रात को खाएंगे types. We are not that poor, but if we don't go on a work, our income is zero. Okay, suppose if you have passive income, that is a different thing, which is in terms of either rental income or your share market income from the dividend or the appreciation of the asset like gold. So it depends. But one should have 6 month emergency plan ready. Suppose tomorrow I met a road accident and I cannot work for 3 months. Okay, my wife fell down in Switzerland. We were on a 20th anniversary. She fell down and she broke her hand. She's anesthetist. She could not work for 2 months. So asset, real estate. अगर कल मुझे 5 crore का जगह, I may have a waiting period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and there may not be buyer waiting for me to get him. So it's called an illiquid asset. Whereas equity is very liquid asset. If I want 2 CR from market tomorrow, I'll sell my equity, I'll get 2 CR. Okay, so you have to classify your investment into illiquid asset and liquid asset. Liquid asset will give you immediate cash back. Okay, so that is very, very important. Suppose if I am earning 1 lakh per month, I'll keep 6 lakhs earmark in a liquid fund. Okay, I may not get good returns like liquid case or liquid Bs. Okay, I'll get returns of 4%, but this 6 lakhs I'll keep reserve for my emergency. I'll not use that for my luxury trip. I'll not use this amount for my insurance payment. I'll not use this amount for my EMI payment. I'll not use this for any other investment purpose. This is your mark for my emergency. Like suppose tomorrow I met extent can't work for 2 months, or tomorrow I have some illness. This is the emergency
One
fund what
thing
I'm
has
going
yeah.
to use
So
it
it's
for my
typically
personal.
6 lakhs or is
No, it's a 6 month income. Yeah, you keep this earmark.
Acha, acha.
Okay.
And what about the debt products you have mentioned? What is about that?
See, debt products is typically like FD. Debt products means your capital protection. You are not worried about the returns. You don't want high return, but you want capital to be protected. Like suppose if you are keeping 1 CR today, I have my son marriage after 6 months. If I put this 1 CR in market falls, it may become 80 lakhs. Okay. So I don't want my 1 CR to reduce to 99 lakhs. So
Yeah.
I'll invest something which is called as a debt product where capital protection is there. You will get low interest like 3%, 4%. But I will never go below 1 CR after 6 months. So that is
Yeah.
the debt products. The debt products are
Okay.
liquid case, liquid Bs, FDs. This is the capital protection products. Okay. So for if you need some funds in near future, okay, you should not put this in the equity. Equity is only when you can hold that. Put your amount in equity only if you can hold for 7 years. Okay, the
Yeah.
target is 7 years. Timeline is 7 years. So you invest only that much amount of money which you will not need for next 7 years. Okay, because market may see fluctuation up and down, but if you see at the end of the 7 year, you will be always in profit.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nitin. Dr. Santosh Jaibhai, as a senior guide at WealthCon, what are the top 3 financial mistakes you have noticed as who in doctors' professions are doing, and how to avoid those mistakes?
Yeah. Yes. Re- Regarding the mistakes, financial mistakes that are made, the first and foremost financial mistake is not to starting financial planning early in life. The start early is the most important thing. The earlier you start, the better is the compounding, and we earn a lot and in the form of passive income if we start early. So for those youngsters who are recently into practice, my suggestion will be to put at least 10% of your income. We say that pay yourself first. Whatever your net take home income is there, at least save 10% of your income for your future self in the form of investments. First is not starting early. Second is buying a combination of investment and insurance products, typically, which we call them as a unit linked insurance plans. They give you neither good insurance nor good investments. So, we generally say we should not invest in unit linked insurance plans because they are neither good insurance vehicles nor good investment vehicles. And third is putting significant amount into one basket. As Nitin said, we should not put all our eggs into one basket. So people keep on buying real estate, real estate, real estate. And when they actually need money and they go out in the market to sell their real estate, they don't get a buyer because of illiquidity and they get stuck up.
Yeah, it's true. So, how they can avoid it? Yeah, you have just discussed that. And one more thing, Dr. Nitin, whether a gynecologist should invest in their own diagnostic equipments or in their own operation theaters, or is it better to be a partner with some existing facilities in their earlier days of practice?
See, gynecologist is fond of buying USG machine. Okay, which is costly. It starts from 15 lakhs and goes up to 45, 55, 65 lakhs. Now, suppose if your practice is such a roaring that you can generate your revenue and pay back EMI within 3 years, you should buy it. Because after 3 years, you are going to own that machine and you can claim the depreciation and you can save the taxes. So here comes the knowledge of taxation, which is very, very important. And we always ignore the taxation part. Okay, so how to utilize your investment for taxation benefit is also very, very important to understand. Okay, so now suppose if I bought 3D, so I bought a 3D endoscopy set because I'm a hardcore endoscopy surgeon. Okay. So I bought it. It cost me around 1 CR. But okay, my investment is 1 CR, but I'm getting depreciation on it every year 15%. So that is saving my tax. And within 3 to 4 years, I'm making my equipment free. Okay. So that is how we have to calculate. Second, if suppose I'm fond of robotic surgery, robot is costing me 8 CR. Is it cost effective? No. I'll go to the next door and operate where the robot is available. Let them take 2 lakhs per case. I'm happy to pay that, but I'll not invest 8 CR in robot because that is very high maintenance. It's like a white elephant in the OT. I cannot afford white elephant in the OT, you know, because the maintenance AMC goes very, very high. AMCs goes in lakhs. Instruments are disposable for robotics. I'll not invest in something which is like a white elephant. In fact, I will use the facility of the next door and get rid of that kind of 1 or 2 surgery who are demanding robotic surgery. So that is very, very important.
Yeah, very true. So you have to be very calculated when you are investing in your equipments. Yeah. So Dr. Santosh Jaibai, how do you balance reinvestment in your practice with personal wealth building?
See, there has to be a balance between reinvestment into your practice as well as a personal wealth building. Both things are important. There is no doubt about it. Then our reinvestment into practice could be in the form of reinvestment into equipments or reinvestment into knowledge. So whatever earning is coming out of that particular area of your practice, you can allocate certain percentage of that income. So as Nitin said, if I'm doing a laparoscopy and if I want to buy some equipment that can increase my laparoscopy practice, so what I will do out of the total income of an endoscopy, a certain amount will be set aside to buy that particular equipment or that particular course, or either it could be an equipment or it could be some knowledge, some course, or whatever it is. So certain amount of your income from active income should be set aside, allocated for expansion into your practice. At the same time, you cannot put everything into your practice, and you have to set aside some amount that is going to be dedicated to your personal wealth creation for your future life goals as well as for your retirement.
How much percentage of you put of
Around
your
20% we
income
can say.
for reinvestment
Yeah,
every yearly?
reinvestment into practice. Yes.
Yeah, every yearly.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very good. Uh,
So I think this segment will focus more on tax planning and legal structure. Dr. Shah, what's the optimal business structure for a gynecologist? Sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporate entity from a tax perspective, I mean.
See, now from the tax perspective, if you are a sole proprietorship and if you can show expense of 50% from your income, it's better to go for the 44 ADA, which is the tax exception. You don't have to, undergo like audit or something, but you can always take advantage of 44 ADA if you are a sole proprietor. So that gives you then benefit of 50%, provided you have all the income in white, like check and NEFT transaction. You cannot deposit cash in that account. If the cash transaction should be less than 5%, only then you are eligible for this section. If your cash transaction is more, you are not eligible for this section. If you are a partnership nowadays, people, you can see a lot of people do partnership, husband and wife starting an LLP, limited liability partnership, and they go into the limited liability partnership for branding and other things. So they take income in that limited liable partnership and they show all their travel expense, other things into that like a corporate expenses, and they take claim under the benefit of that. But limited liable partnership, what happens, your all documents are into the public forum. You require a lot of compliance. So you have to be very, very careful about that because LLP will attract a lot of compliance from the government regulatory. Okay. So that is very, very important to understand what you choose, whether a sole proprietorship or an LLP.
For a corporate
Recently,
entity, anyway,
recently I did just a partnership did with my wife to generate one more PAN. So the whole idea is generate more PAN, divide your taxes. Okay. So in a house, if you have two people earning, try to get 5 or 6 PAN card and you divide your income into the different head so that the taxation comes down in all the PAN cards. And that is how you come into the lower tax slab rate.
Oh, I see. Very clever. Okay. Right, sir. But what about corporate entity? Anyway, that the TDS happens at the source, and we'll have to, I guess, pay the taxes as usual. Like, it doesn't make any difference, doesn't it?
See, I
Corp-
think I'm happy to pay taxes if I have income. So you cannot hide your income which is
Yeah.
online or that, I want to save tax so my cash घर पे रखता हूँ. No, that is not going to cap your cash lying in your house is it's a like depreciating asset. You are not even beating the inflation.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
calculate inflation, your cash is not even beating the inflation. So
that's
better to pay tax, convert into white, invest that amount into the equity, gold and GERD, what we discussed, and generate more income from that. So that you can pay tax and ultimately you get whatever you want in the because ultimately it's your balance sheet what is going to speak. The IT returns what is going to speak.
yeah.
Suppose tomorrow if you want to venture into some big venture, you require a loan, you will not get if your balance sheet is not clear. This is what is happening with the youngsters.
Ah,
Their balance sheet is not clear, and when they want to start or buy a premises, they are stuck up because they are not eligible for the loan. So
very
what I
prudent
suggest is
advice.
pay tax, make strong IT, and you are on the top of the world.
Very prudent advice. Very, very clear and prudent advice. Thank you. And how should doctors approach GST compliance and tax deductions specific to medical practice? I mean, what's your advice about that?
No. Actually, our medical practices are exempt from GST. So, if we are providing our regular medical services, then we are completely exempted from paying GST. And we don't need to even have a GST number. But certain services are under GST. And what are they? Those are cosmetic services. If you are having an in-house pharmacy from where you are making sale of medicines, that comes under GST. So if you are providing those allied services, GST provisions are applicable, and if the GST turnover in a year is more than 20 lakhs, then applying for GST number is a mandatory thing, and that needs to be done. Now, coming to the tax deduction part, whatever we are making expenses on our practice, it could be your staff salaries, if your it could be your electricity bills, light bills, whatever softwares you are using, AMCs for the softwares, your fuel expenses in your professional part of your life, all those can be claimed under as a deduction. Your equipments can be claimed under deduction in partly manner every year in the form of a depreciation. So whatever expenses you are making to run your practice, all those expenses are deductible from your net taxable before calculating your net taxable income. Other than that, there are certain provisions under various sections of Income Tax Act like ATC, ATD, ATCCD, and all those provisions since last 2 to 3 years, the new tax regime has come. Those who have opted for new tax regime, they don't get any of these exemptions under these various sections of the act. But those who are using these exemptions, their APC tax saving investments, your home loan interest, then your health insurance premiums, all those can be claimed as deductions in before calculating your net taxable incomes. Yes, yes.
Claim.
Under Section 80D, health insurance premium can be claimed as allowable deduction. But that is only in the own tax regime, not in the new tax regime. Of course, that is part of your professional expenses, so that can also be claimed.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. And what are the medical, legal, or financial implications of different practice models?
Medical legal implications, there are no specific medical legal implications. If you are involved into treating a patient and there is a medical legal liability arising out of it, you have to deal with it. There are no specific medical legal aspects as far as the liability, whether you are into a partnership firm or as an individual. It is the treating consultant, and if you are a treating consultant, then you are of course liable. And if you are running a partnership firm and some other consultant is managing a patient, your partnership firms own that hospital, then of course the vicarious liability is on you if some similar situation arises there.
Right. Sure. Thank you.
No, actually, this about your medical legal implications and about the finance. There are some insurance companies, you know, for these things. They will take care of your, if you take that indemnity and all, they will also take care of your medical legal
Yeah, of course.
thing
Indemnity.
goes with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that indemnities, like how Foxy indemnity is there or
right,
IMA indemnity is there,
right,
that better to take one indemnity, even outside court settlement, they will do for that.
right.
Especially those IMA. We usually think we gynecologists don't know that these IMA indemnities are also good enough to help the all the kind of branches of our medical legal cases.
Yeah,
So I think that is also, yeah.
professional indemnity is must before you start your practice, even on day one. Uh, since we are discussing the financial aspect and various investment strategies, the first strategy that needs to be implemented before you invest your first rupee in any of the investment assets is the risk cover. And that risk cover, it includes your risk to your life, that is to be covered in the form of term insurance. Second, risk to your health, that is to be covered in the form of health insurance. Then there is something called as disability insurance, where if you are disabled because of some accident or something and you are not working, then a insurance company pays you certain amount till the time you are absent from your work. So that has to be there. Similarly, our hospital equipment insurance has to be there. Similarly, our professional indemnity has to be there, because if you have huge amount as invested, but if you are not covered risks to various aspects of your life, and if one thing happen, it can create a big dent into your investment corpus. So all the risk cover has to be there before even before you start investing.
And typically, what would you suggest that the professional indemnity be? You said two or three insurances have to be taken, three or two or three indemnities, right? Typically, what would be the value for
No,
say, a
I have not
gynecologist
said
or a
two or three indemnities. I said two or three different insurances. Your life, term insurance, indemnity insurance. Indemnity insurance, even if it's a it is always better to have single indemnity insurance, because if you take insurance from two different companies and if you lose a case, will be fight between these two companies, who is going to compensate. Now, see, rather than having 2 CR insurance from three different companies, it is better to have 6 CR insurance from one company. It depends on what's your area of practice, which kind of clients you are serving, what kind of surgeries you are doing. But if you want to get to an average, it should be at least 2 crore, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Someone who is into advanced surgeries needs to have a better, higher insurance. Someone who is doing basic OBGY work, he can have insurance of 1 CR, so that is more than enough.
And premiums are not that high. If you calculate the premium, yearly premium is hardly 8 to 10,000. So that is not much.
Yes.
Yeah. See, no, Dr. Nitin sir and Dr. Santosh Jaibai, both are taking small breaks for their recreation in the form of lot of trekking, and they do lot of marathons and all those things. I really appreciate those all things. But when a doctor thinks of taking off for something, he has to think lot much, how many days, how I should and all. But when it comes to a retirement itself, what are, and when some gynecologist is thinking, now I want to get retired, and how I should plan for that, and what are the realistic targets to get retired? Dr. Nitin, can you highlight about that?
You told about our balanced life. I would like to say one sentence to summarize that. Health without wealth is poverty, and wealth without health is charity. Okay, this is a one line with a deep meaning if you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what was the question? So I told in the beginning that doctor don't retire. Public will retire by not coming to you. Doctor will still come to the OPD and sit 9 to 12. And one day you will find people are not coming. So at that day you can think you are retired. So you will not take voluntary retirement. VRS nahi hota apne mein. You know? And doctor will work till the end, last day of his life. That is how we
So
retire.
what
See,
what will be his Uh,
Ideal and planning should be the corpus should be 20x of your annual expense, roughly. If you calculate 20 times of your annual expense, if you have that much amount, you can retire safely. And for an approximate amount, if you have a 10 CR, you can retire, provided your children education is over, provided they are married, you don't have any expense to foresee, and you have no other liabilities in the life, no loan pending, nothing. And at this amount, you can retire, I am sure.
yeah,
Uh,
Yes, you can
I'll
add.
very
just
practical answer.
I will just add a few things here. See, what do you mean by retirement? Retirement doesn't mean stopping work. Retirement means you are not working for money, or you are not working out of compulsion. You are working out of passion.
Yeah,
So, if money is not the driving force for your work, you are retired.
yeah,
See, now we take latest example of Arijit Singh. He retired from Bollywood singing, but he will still make music. But what will happen with this? Youngster will get chance to sing Bollywood song. But this does never happen in medical field. None of the seniors get retired. Okay, and juniors are struggling. Either they join senior and wait when these people will exit, check out the planet, and I'll take over the practice. I have seen this. They're just waiting for that senior person to check out of the planet so that I can take over the practice. These are the actual words of the juniors, what I'm telling. You know, either they build their own empire or they have to take over somebody else's empire. So retirement does not come in the medical practice. That is the biggest, I'd say drawback. But in near future, when you are increasing the seats by almost 15, 20 lakh seats are going to increase for medical education. The number of doctors coming out every year is too much. So there will be a cutthroat competition in market. So something has to be phased out, for the easy settlement of all the juniors.
because Santosh, how do you balance building a legacy, that is practice or institution, with personal retirement security?
As I said before, at the time of answering last question, like you cannot put everything of your earning into your practice. You have to save certain amount which is there for your retirement. So building legacy is something that is building your brand, building your name, building your reputation. For that, you need to have a reputation building activities. You have to build a system. You have to build a team. You have to build an infrastructure. You have to train juniors, as Nitin said. You have to create protocols and you have to create a system which can work efficiently even without you being present there. It could be training your juniors, it could be creating protocols, it could be creating SOPs, and it can create a brand which is bigger than you. Okay. And investing in quality standards, investing into technology, what it is going to do, it is going to make your practice scalable, it is going to make it sellable, and it is going to make it transferable whenever you plan to stop work. So this is building legacy. But at the same time, if you are putting everything into practice and not saving anything for yourself, you will have to work till you die. So you have to, at the same time, you have to put certain amount out of your income to create your retirement corpus. And in my opinion, at least 25 to 30% of your net income should be taken for yourself and your future years and your retirement corpus and a corpus to build your retirement funding. So there has to be a balance between you are building your legacy and building your wealth for your retirement.
Yeah, it's true. And Dr. Nitin, uh, how you will say that those who are now nearing retirement and they want to go from active life of income to into mentorship or it a little passive role in their institute and all, what should be their and how they can maintain their earning in that transition period?
See, now if you see the senior, if they are into the practice of 20 for 25 years of the practice, they don't have to go any other things. They will be well established. People will keep coming to them. So they don't have to think of any other plan. Okay, it will all come together. Like I started my journey as an obstetrician gynecologist, shipped to the endoscopy. Parallel, I've started my endoscopy training. So right now I'm a teacher, I am a consultant, everything together. It is not that out 20 years I'll practice, then I'll start teaching. No, everything comes together. It will go hand in hand. And over the period of time, you will stabilize. Like right now, we are doing freelancing endoscopy surgery in all the hospitals. Maybe over the few years, we may cut down on the area. Then at one point, you will just settle that I'll not do freelancing. I'll sit at my place and operate. So this is how you cut down your practice. This is how you take time for yourself, because in the beginning years, we work like a resident even in private practice. From morning 8 to evening 10, we slog for a 14 hours, 16 hours, and we train. We say to ourselves that we are trained like that to work like this,
Yeah.
and this is our life, and we are happy with that life. But once your age becomes more and more, you realize that you have to cut down your speed of operating. You have to cut down on your working hours, give time to self. That is very, very important. When me and Santosh 10 नाम लिखा दिया एवरेस्ट जाना है, एवरेस्ट बेस कैंप, तो बोले अगले साल जा रहे हैं, मतलब अभी आफ्टर 4 months. अरे पागल है क्या? Who climbs Everest base camp in 4 months? And then we realize, so we really cut down our practice for 2 hours. Morning, we started late. Initially we used to start at 7:30. We shifted time to 9:30, but we give time to self, and we realize how the body is. I'll break to prepare ourselves to maintain our body, and this is how the cycle goes on.
Absolutely true. I think that's a beautiful input and insight that you've given all of us who struggle and all night and day, and for obstetricians especially, it's very
I'll tell
important to
you,
balance the things that you like.
in the beginning of the practice, to take 3 days, 5 days off is very difficult. Okay, I have seen couple who are married but started practicing and they've not even gone for the honeymoon. अरे practice patient चला जाएगा. See, this is our attitude. Not everybody will have, but I have seen a couple of couples getting this kind of mentality. नहीं नहीं practice छोड़ के नहीं जा सकते. So you have to get out of this things and live life also sometimes.
Absolutely. Very,
Yeah.
very well spoken. Dr. Shah, you can take this. What's your advice for a young gynecologist just starting out of student loans?
They should work like a avalanche method. You pay off the high interest debt first, finish it off as far as
Finish it off.
possible.
Yeah.
Work like a resident for another 2 years. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Residency तो चालू था, 2 साल और कर लेंगे.
Yeah.
But in that 2 years of active residency life in private practice, you will generate more funds and you clear off your debt.
Absolutely.
Once your
So
life
keep
is
it as
debt
soon as
free,
possible.
yes, get rid
And
of it as soon as possible.
how should a gynecologist in a government hospital approach financial planning differently from one in private hospital?
Yeah, there are certain things which are very specific to the people who are into government sector. One, they have fixed monthly salaries. They have predictable increments. The sudden loss of income, there is a very low risk of sudden loss of income. So they are categorized in the form of they have a stability of income and stability in the appreciation of income. So in that case, whatever we say that we should have 6 months expenses ready as an emergency fund, that may not be very much applicable to the people in government, because even if they have some paid leaves and they can still get some amount from there, but still some amount has to be there. Second thing, insurance needs like any other people we need. They also have those insurance needs like term insurance, health insurance, disability cover, but the term insurance need can be little less. Coming to their investment part, a disciplined regular SIP investing into mutual funds is the best way for government people. Most important thing here is to start early, invest regularly, and do not withdraw prematurely for trivial reasons.
Right. Very well said. And what's one financial decision you made early that you would do differently today? What do you think you would have done differently today? Dr. Shah and then Dr. Santosh Jaibhai.
Join WealthCon. I was very ignorant. Let me put myself first. I was very ignorant in this financial knowledge. When we were in the Egypt tour for a conference, Santosh Jayabai and me were sitting on a Nile's cruise. for 2 hours sailing in the Nile River. And he was counseling me, join WealthCon. It's a good financial knowledge. And I was telling, how much is your return? He told me, मेरा return नहीं आया अभी तक. Told, how can we get the return? You are a founder member. So that discussion started like that. And after that, a COVID came. And before that, it was a physical meeting. But when COVID came, I called up Santosh, kuch online hai kya? He told yes, and I joined the WealthCon. And I think from that day, my entire perception is changed, because at WealthCon, we don't give financial advice. We don't give you buy this, sell this. We don't sell any product. It's a knowledge, pure academic discussion, and it will make you self-reliant. Okay. You don't wait for the first of the every month of the calendar that you will get tip कि अरे ये खरीदो वो खरीदो. No, it will make you self-reliant. Okay. And that is how our knowledge is there in the finance.
Right. So for us who are novices to WealthCon, how do we become members?
We can help you. We can put a link. The new course is just going to start in February. It's a basic investor course type, passive investment. I think everybody should join for the knowledge, in which we covered everything like chart reading, we covered taxation, we covered passive investment, mutual fund, debt product, everything. So it will be a good overall course.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. Tell you few things because it's an initiative started by a doctor. We exclusively have allopathic doctor members on the WealthCon. We don't have any insurance advisor, any investment advisors. And as Nitin said, we do not serve ready-made advice. We say it in light humor that we don't serve fish fry, but we teach you how to catch the fish.
Right.
So, and if I teach you, if I give you fish fry, I can feed you for a day. But if I teach you fishing, you can be competent enough to feed yourself for your entire life.
Actually, everything has got some end. We have discussed too many aspects, and now it is time to end our conversation with good summary and all. So, as we are bringing this enlightening conversation to a close, it is clear that financial health is not just as vital as clinical, it is not just a knowledge, but it is as vital as a clinical expertise for sustainable and stress-free career in obstetric and gynecology. Am I right? Yeah. So we have learned today that while we take care of our patients, we must also take the time to care our future also. Okay, not only in our future of our health, but as a future financial future also. So,
Absolutely.
Dr. Arna, what do you say about this?
Absolutely. A huge, huge thanks to the finance gurus, to our esteemed guests, Dr. Nitin Shah and Dr. Santosh Jaibai. Probably the next time I'm in Mumbai for TMM, Tata Mumbai Marathon, I'll definitely meet you there. And thank you so much, Dr. Durgadas Asrana, sir, the president of KSOGA, for the opportunity to, create it for meeting such lovely people online.
Yes.
And thank you for being so generous with your time, all of you, and for sharing the WealthCon philosophy with the KSOGA family. I think your insights on balancing the scalpel with the spreadsheet have given us all a lot to think about. Over to Dr. Durgadas Asrana.
And just I want to say to the
To
listeners
the listeners, yeah.
that we hope this episode of Preranapatha serves as a catalyst for your financial journey, right? And remember, it's never too early or too late to start planning. For more resources, you can look into the work being done at Wealthicon or reach out to our guests through the links provided in our show notes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So let
that
me
will,
close by telling one
whoever,
thing, your medical degree is your greatest wealth creating machine, but compounding is your best employee. Let your money work for you when you are resting. So that should be
yeah,
the take home message.
Yeah.
yeah. See,
Very well
I,
said. Compounding is your best employee. Amazing.
Yeah.
yeah,
I love all those beautiful, sayings that you've got in between quotes. Over to
my,
Durgadas, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nitin Shah and Dr. Santosh Bhai. It is one of the excellent podcasts I have conducted. I think this is the 11th in the series. and it's one of the. My tenure is 1 year as a presidency, and March I'm coming is getting closed, and uh, Dr. Aruna walked along with me throughout. I asked her help how to go around. This was my vision to have podcast, and this is the one of the excellent podcast, Dr. Nitin and Dr. Santosh Jaibai. And you touch each and every listener how to plan their life, how to go around, starting from basics. And because we are very ignorant about our finances. Thank you once again for sparing more time. And I don't know if I get the opportunity, we'll have a few more conversations in future. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Prabha and Dr. Aruna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Sir,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you,
we
and
want to end.
thank
I
you.
want to end this session with only one saying. Initial days of your practice, you work for money, but after you get stabilized and become a senior, let your money work for you.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
And with this,
thank you. Thank you for tuning
yeah,
in
thank
to
you. Thank
uh,
you.
Dr. Prabha. Thank you for tuning in to Karnataka State Obstetrics and Gynecology Society podcast, Preranapatha, which is obviously, as the name suggests, an inspirational path. Stay tuned for our next episode as we continue to explore paths of inspiration for the modern obs and gynae practitioner. Until then, stay healthy, stay inspired, stay wealthy, and keep growing.